Welcome back, folks, to this segment of Ecology-Genius. This time, we're going to dig deeper into competition by talking about two different types, exploitative and interference competition. Exploitative competition is where individuals will indirectly compete with each other by limiting the other's pool of resources. Conversely, interference competition is when individuals will directly compete with each other for resources. These both sound like superb ways to compete, but unfortunately there exists this trade-off. This trade-off says that a species usually can only excel in one form of competition, but less so in the other form. Let's take a look at the omnivorous ant to discover why this trade-off even exists. It has to do with how dominant the species is and how big the food is. First of all, there's this correlation that says that the longer it takes for an ant to find its food, the more dominant the ant is. Secondly, the size of the food matters. Say the ant wants a bigger form of food, then they'll have to recruit other ants in order to find the food, and then they'll have to, in the process, fight off rivals. If they want smaller food, then they can just send one worker out individually to go steal the resource. Of course, there are always exceptions to this rule. In this case, invasive species are not constrained by this trade-off. A general reason why this is because they don't have any natural predators where they invaded, and this allows them to grow to larger numbers. As an example, let's consider the Argentine ant. They're really great at bullying native ants and kicking them out to make room for their own colonies. They rock at interference competition because of how their colony is structured. They form these super colonies where basically there's multiple nests together, there are no boundaries, which allow queens and workers to intermingle with each other. This results in the ants having a lot of workers that are aggressive. They excel at exploitative competition because they always hijack the food sources faster than the native ants can get to it. Argentine ants work extremely well together, which means there isn't any interest-specific competition between the workers. This allows them to forage for much longer. In this segment today, we learned about two types of competition, exploitative and interference. We also learned that most species can only excel in one. But there's an exception to this rule, invasive species. I hope you guys enjoyed this segment of Ecology-Genius. See you next week, and keep it smart.